TNL, and I'll get the how you actually say their vineyard's name because I'll butcher it if I just try it. But check out this patio they've got here. And the view out over the whole valley. You can zoom in there, you can see the lake back there. This is pretty sweet. Official pronunciation of this is Tornalogs, which means hills over lakes, and I would say that's pretty appropriate. Pretty cool patio here, space on there, having a little charcuterie board. Well, it's a charcuterie platter. It's a Texas charcuterie board. There you go. And just overlooking the lakes. It's pretty cool. That one's looking at you, Lily. He says, "Oh, you're scary, Lily." Is that what he said?
And do all the tour. Make sure you go up to the observation tower. It is a short walk from the caverns, but it has a 360-degree view for the whole entire hill country, and it also overlooks Falkenstein Castle. It's really cool to see.
Nice steep stairs. Taking the kids out there, they're like old metal stairs that are just like well, they're barely hanging onto the stone in there, but it's pretty cool.
Make sure you watch your head because you will hit your head.
I think we both hit our head. On the way down, we drove about 2.5 hours from Buchanan, where we were staying, down to Jacob's Well. We had heard a lot of cool stuff about it, swimming hole there in Texas. And a lot of those swimming holes, they shut down. That one, Hamilton, was shut down along with a couple others. So they kind of drained it off a little bit, and it's, 3-4 months a year during the winter that they're closed down for what they call it, like rehab or environmental rehab or something, basically to let it reestablish itself. Flies are a joy of camping. Mm-hmm. But so we weren't able to swim there.
They didn't maintain the water. It was covered in leaves. Not as pretty as pictures.
Yeah, I think hitting it at a better time of year would be the solution to that one.
Yeah.
It was disappointing for a 2.5-hour drive, but if we were in that neck of the woods, I would definitely stop by if it was up and running, and especially a hot summer day would be a good spot to take a dip. So,
Lily, are you excited for some barbecue? No. What are you talking about? We're getting Franklin's. It's like supposed to be the best. Sure you will. All right, so Franklin's Barbecue right now, all they're doing is curbside pickup. You order it online up to 43 days ahead of time, and you show up, you tell them your order number. You've already paid for everything, including tip, and basically they just bring it out to your car and you're good to go.
We ended up losing our footage from Franklin after we got back to the camper and opened up the package. The brisket was amazing. Make sure when you stop by to get the brisket, maybe just get all brisket. That was what we will do next time. We reheated the leftovers 3 days later in the microwave, and it was still amazing. So make sure you stop by Franklin's when you're in Austin's to get some. What are you doing?
Cleaning at the park and jumping around and playing in the sand.
Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Lots of fun? Where are we at?
We're at the park playing. I love playing in the water.
The water was from last night's rainstorm. And we're gonna have a very wet child after this.
Taking Hunter to the beach. He's 5 months old today. Gonna put his feet in the water.
Well, It's hard packed sand, no big deal. All right, dude. What do you think? Say this is like Bath, but not as good. Crystal Beach, really hard packed sand. You can see these guys driving, not even sinking in at all. Right now we're not staying on the beach because you can see the high tide is getting up almost all the way to the dunes right now. So we're here with Kurt and Debbie. They're the owners of A Shore Venture. And we've been staying, we've been here about 5 days now and really enjoying it. We take off in a couple days. And it's a great location. What made you guys want to start this? What was your inspiration for this?
So when I retired, we decided to revisit that and rent surfboards, kayaks, and paddleboards on the beach. And then our little business model has morphed and kept morphing and morphing. And now we're doing full service concierge service, full wedding planning, excursions like kayak excursions, surfing lessons and stuff like that, doing beach fires. We'll get a private chef in. And then we had these extra lots next to our warehouse and we decided, what are we going to do with these? Let's put in a little boutique RV park. My wife is the inspiration on it and put it in the trellis work with the gardens and the herbs and just making it something unique down here.
One of the things we had talked about is a lot of the videos that we find online have been talking about the free camping down on the beach, and you definitely see that. But I know when we had talked about this time of year specifically, and we were down there the other night, that the tides are all the way up to the dunes.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
During the spring and in the fall, we have what we call bull tides, and with the prevailing southeast wind and the fronts coming through and making the winds even stronger, that and the tides, the moon and the tides, we get some tides that are pretty enormous for our area, where they'll come up all the way into the sand dunes and maybe up the foot of the roads. So if you're camping on the beach, you may have definitely a waterfront RV.
So the best time to come, if you were wanting to free camp on the island, really, or on the beach, would really be the middle of winter, before the you said bull tides.
Well,
before the bull tides
late
come in.
spring it gets really nice. The summer is nice, but it's awful hot down here. Yeah.
And loose sand.
And loose
A lot.
sand. And then in the fall, it's beautiful down here. September, October, and early November are great times down here. The water is still warm up to swim in. The outside temperature is usually in the 70s and 80s. The Texas Open Beach Act allows people to drive up and down the beach. You can camp on the beach. You can have an open fire on the beach. You can drink alcohol on the beach.
On this beach.
On this beach,
Not
the Bolivar
Galveston.
Peninsula.
Right.
You
We're
can
not.
do
We're unincorporated here.
Right,
So that's
but somebody was telling me it's all the way from basically the pier all the way up to High Island, right? It's basically the entire beach, the entire.
it's
run
all
of
the way
beach.
to Sabine Pass, which is virtually inaccessible.
The beach is considered a
Is
state
it?
highway.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It is part of the state highway system.
Really?
The county maintains it
Okay.
to some degree under the jurisdiction of the General Land Office. During the spring and in the fall, it's part of the National Birding Trail. People come in from all over the world, literally all over the world, to look at the birds that come through migration from the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. They fly across the Gulf and land down here and re-energize themselves before they disperse up into the
Don't
Midwest.
they like literally fall
They
out of
literally
the
have what they
sky?
call the spring fallout,
Yeah.
where the birds actually drop out of the sky. They're so exhausted after flying across the Gulf. And then they re-energize here, and then they fly up to the Midwest and different parts of the continental U.S. And then they do the reverse migration in the fall, but it's more sporadic. There's a countercurrent that comes out of the Gulf, out of the Mississippi River, and it parallels the coast going from east to west. And it's just right offshore, and it takes the sediment and all the nutrients out of the Mississippi River and parallels the coast, dropping it between the river and about Galveston. which makes our water a lot browner, dirtier looking,
Mhm.
but has more nutrients in it for marine life than most other bodies of water.
Really?
That's why if you hear about South Louisiana and the crabbing, the shrimping, and all that so good, that's why. That's one reason the Southeast Texas area, Galveston Bay and Sabine Pass.
So it gets into Galveston Bay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why these are such prolific waters for crab and shrimp and oysters, just like in Louisiana.
If you're looking for a place to stay in the Crystal Beach area, be sure to check out A Shore Venture. You can also contact them for beach day rentals at ashoreventure.com or 409-926-2914.
We're gonna go see some birds at the on the Bolivar Peninsula, and it's early. We don't get up this early. We're gonna get some donuts real quick. We're not early risers. What do you think?
No, this donut shop sells hamburgers and cheeseburgers though.
In case you want one of those at 6 a.m.
And a shrimp po' boy.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna be really quiet here, but take a look at this. So this is run by the Houston Audubon Society. It's in High Island, right before the bridge.
This was the Smith Oaks Sanctuary, if you want to look it up. There's also Boy Scout Woods Sanctuary that was close by, but we got there and it was packed with mosquitoes.
Moody Gardens, the aquarium exhibit. All right, wrangling toddlers here. Got a little touch pond here. And then a tunnel. There you go. Little shark swimming overhead. These are always fun. These are getting more and more common. There you go. There you go. You can watch them go right over us.
So we just finished up at the aquarium. Where are we going next?
The Rainbow Forest.
Rainbow Forest. We're going to a forest exhibit, so we'll see what it's got. The rainforest, not rainbow.
Yeah.
It's a rainforest.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
To rainbow.
Going to the rainforest. All right, here we go.
All right, that's the Rainbow Forest exhibit. Look at all the palm trees. They had that big freeze and killed off all these limbs. I think they're gonna survive. You got little tiny green spots at the top of each one, but it's gonna take a few years to come back on some of them. These guys just coming in, cruising through everybody.
Did you see Eleanor?
Yep. You're okay, Eleanor.
Come here.
He didn't get you. You. Yeah. That right there is a massive fish. I think it's got to be 6-7 feet long. So that was a heck of a day. Long day. Went birding this morning, walking over through the sanctuaries over in High Island, and then drove over to Galveston, went to Moody Gardens. Check this out. We're waiting to get on the ferry, and these people are feeding the birds out of the car window, throwing stuff at them.
Don't get pooped on.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, went to Moody Gardens. Let's think of Moody Gardens.
It was good. I like the aquarium. A lot better than the other aquariums we've been to.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, up and down, I would say, what, 3, 4 big tanks. Like normally a lot of aquariums have, you know, a bunch of the small ones and then one big tank, and this one had, I would say, 4 big ones and then a handful of small ones. They didn't have as many small ones, but the 4 really big ones, and so that was pretty cool. And then went over to the rainforest exhibit, and then we were absolutely crazy and decided to run up to Kemah, which was good. We got some food up there, and we did the Ferris wheel and
Like literally first carousel ride, train ride, Ferris wheel.
So that was fun.
What are you riding?
The carousel. So fun.
So fun.
And now we're just waiting to get back on the ferry.
Tune in next week as we celebrate Easter with family and then head west down the Texas coast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Comment.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
I always screw it up.
Look at these people. Look what they've started. This is crazy. This is why you don't feed birds when you're waiting in line to get on a ferry.